Governor, why it's so necessary to do this, and then also why we need legislation as well.
Yes, yeah. Look, it's time to take action. Everybody should be asking themselves, what can I do to, let me start over. We have to take action, and everybody should be asking themselves, how do we make Rhode Island safer? How do we bring about gun safety laws and make Rhode Island safer? So what I'm saying here is this is a policy directing the state police and my departments to work together to help people identify people in their community and their family and their neighborhood who they think have a gun and are potentially likely to be violent with it, to flag that so we can get the guns out of their hands. We need legislation because what we also want is a law which would then allow a police officer to go to court and have the judge legally remove the gun from the person. So right now, the way it would work is, let's say somebody in my family has been posting on Facebook, they have a lot of guns, they're angry, they're going to go take it out on someone. We're setting up a hotline now. We could call the state police could go talk to that person, try to convince them to give up their gun, but legally they can't take away their gun, you see? So what the law would do is it would set up a procedure where you could ask the court to literally remove the gun from the person. So that's the difference.
So does the policy give them the ability to do that as well?
No, that's the whole point. So what the policy does is, my executive order does three things. It directs the state police to follow up on every single red flag notice that they get in combination with local police. We're going to do a public awareness campaign and we're putting together the task force to work with the governor's coalition. So most likely what would happen now is a local police would go to the home and have a visit and talk to the person and try to convince the person to give up their gun. But they don't legally have the authority to take the gun away. And so we need legislation to set up that process.
All right,
so that a judge would decide that there is imminent harm and there's a legal standard that would have to be set up by the legislature, and the judge would make the determination, we're going to take this gun away.
So how long is this executive order in effect?
No, forever. I mean, it's two separate things. So the executive order is it's kind of a precursor to legislation. This is policy. So essentially what I've said is I need to do everything within my authority to keep Rhode Islanders safe. That's what this is about. I want to use the full limit of my authority as governor, do whatever I can to keep Rhode Islanders safe. But it's not a substitute for legislative action. We still need the legislature to pass the law. By the way, I have to give huge credit to the General Assembly. They came out on Friday in the House and in the Senate saying they're going to pass the law. So I'm so grateful that they are going to take action on it, and I hope that they do.
Tell the people who say this is just the beginning of the assault on the Second Amendment.
It is not the beginning of an assault on the Second Amendment. Look, as the Colonel said today, this is not about taking guns away from people who are law-abiding citizens, who are sportsmen, who are hunters. This is about keeping Rhode Islanders safe. As I said there, I support a ban on military-style weapons. There is no reason a semi-automatic weapon should be on the streets or in our schools. They're military-style weapons. They're the most dangerous weapons designed to kill people in times of war. That's what this is about.
So would you be submitting or asking legislators to sponsor legislation that would ban semi-automatic weapons?
Yes. Separate from this. I mean, what today is about is the red flag policy and legislation, but separately I also think there's no place for it. They're military-style weapons. Look, many years ago, the United States of America banned fully automatic weapons. And now they ought to ban assault weapons and semi-automatic weapons.
You talked to the speaker about that. He's indicated so far that he's not supportive of that.
I understand that. Hopefully we can get him to reconsider that position because I do think it would save lives.
Can I ask if your daughter is planning to participate in the walkout on March 14th?
I don't know. I'll ask her.
All right, cool.
I'd support her if she would, but I don't know.
All right, thank you.
So, Governor, just to be clear, the executive order doesn't allow them to take guns away from people except in the current legal
Correct.
ways they can
Exactly.
do so.
That's exactly right. If it's illegally obtained, if they have a felony conviction, if domestic violence conviction, then you can forcibly remove the gun. And hopefully our legislature will pass a law that also says if the court determines that you're a so-called red flag and the court orders you to give in your gun. But right now that isn't the law. So they would typically what happens as a practical matter is police officer would sit down with you and try to convince you that it's best for everybody to give up your gun.
So you couldn't do that through an executive order. You couldn't give them the
No,
authority.
you have to change the law. That's
And
the law.
there's more than a dozen states that are considering red flag laws as well. What would you say to them to encourage them to follow suit?
If they find the courage to pass that law, they will save lives. We know what saves lives. We know, look at Connecticut. Connecticut has tougher gun laws, and in the time since they've passed their ban on military-style weapons or their red flag legislation, gun deaths have gone down. There is a clear link between better gun safety laws and less gun violence. The solution to the problem of gun violence in our country is less guns. And less dangerous guns. And so that's what we have to bring about.
Are you encouraged by seeing Speaker Mattiello sign on to the red flag bill?
I am. I'm very encouraged. I give him a lot of credit. The same with Senator Goodwin. The legislature deserves a lot of credit, and I think they're going to do the right thing. And that would be great if they did.
Will there be mental health advocates on the board that you're establishing to oversee this?
Yes. I haven't decided precisely who will be on the commission, but yes, definitely. We'll have public safety, mental health, gun experts, school safety people. Everybody's got an interest in solving this problem.
What are you thinking about this?
Your potential GOP rivals in November stand on this issue?
I think the people of Rhode Island deserve to know where every gubernatorial candidate stands on this issue. This is a life and death issue. Every parent wants to know. Every parent of a school-age child wants to know where does their governor stand on this issue, and they deserve the right to know that clearly and convincingly.
Were you thinking about this before the Parkland shooting, or did that event and what we learned about the shooter afterwards really spur you to do this today?
I'd say both. I've been working on gun safety since I've become governor. Every year I've been governor, I've supported a ban on military-style weapons. Last year we worked with the legislature to take guns out of the hands of domestic violence criminals. Now, having said that, like a lot of people, I was shaken by the Parkland shootings, and it caused me to ask myself, what more can I do? I have to do more. And my daughter challenged me, Mom, what are you doing? And so, yes, it did cause me to go back to my team and say, what more can we do right now? Let's take action, save lives. And it will save lives. Kids deserve to go to school and feel safe. Kids are afraid, and they deserve safety.